So here we have a problem that is log base 27 of x plus log base 3 of x plus log base 9 of x is equal to 11 over 18, 11 over 18, and we want to solve for x. So the first thing that I notice in this problem is that the bases of the logs are not the same, so we can't use our formula to add them directly. We can first, there's a number of different ways that we can approach this problem, but one method is to use the change of base formula to change the bases all into the same base. So I notice that both 27, 3, and 9, they all have a common base, like an exponential base of 3. So first of all, the base formula is, change of base formula is log base b of x is equal to log base a of x over log base a of b. So what this means is that if we have log base b of x, we can change that to any other base that we want. The most common base would be changing it to base 10, which is called the common log. Also, to remember this formula, I just think to drop the base. So whatever the base is of the log here, we're going to drop that to be what is inside the bottom log. But in this case, because we recognize that we have base of 3 of each of these numbers, let's go ahead and change our base to a base of 3. So the way we do that using this formula is we can write log base 3 of x is what goes on top, divided by log, we're choosing 3 as our base, of, drop the base as 27, plus, this log is already written as log base 3, so we don't need to change its base. We can just write it as log base 3 of x, plus, this one's 9, so let's change it to 3, log base 3 of x goes on top, over log base 3, drop the base, 9. And all of that is equal to 11 over 18. Okay, so from here, we can use the, we can rewrite the denominator logs, because those are all numbers. We can rewrite them as exponents so that we can simplify these denominators. So let's write this as, and we want to use base 3s of each one of these. So let's do log base 3 of x over log base 3. Now 27 can be written as 3 to the power of 3. So let's write that as 3 to the power of 3 plus log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of x over 9 can be written as 3 to the power of 2. So log base 3 of 3 to the power of 2. Bring down the equals to 11 over 18. And keep in mind, this isn't the only way to do this problem. There's lots of different ways to do this problem. This is just one strategy using the change of base formula. So now, let's use the formula of kicking the exponent to the front to write this as log base 3 of x over 3 log base 3 of 3 plus log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of x over, again, kick the exponent to the front, 2 log base 3 of 3. Bring down the other side. And now we can use the rule of log base anything of that same thing, log base b of b is equal to 1. So this will simplify, log base 3 of 3 simplifies to 1. So we can rewrite this as log base 3 of x over 3 plus log base 3 of x plus, again, 2 times 1 is 2, so log base 3 of x over 2 is equal to 11 over 18. Okay, from here, let's put our divided by our number as a coefficient in the front to make this 1/3 log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of x plus 1/2 log base 3 of x is equal to 11 over 18. Now let's use the rule of that we used before, but in reverse, of kicking the coefficient back to the exponent. So that will be log base 3 of x to the power of 1/3 plus log base 3 of x plus log base 3 of x to the power of 1/2 is equal to 11 over 18. Now that we have written all of our logs with no coefficients and all with the same bases, we can use the rule of when you add logs with the same bases, you multiply what's in the logs. So using that rule, we can write log base 3 of x to the 1/3 times x to the 1/2 is equal to 11 over 18. From here we want to simplify, so when we multiply common bases we add their exponents. So we need to, since we have fractional exponents, let's make them into the same base, or excuse me, into the same denominator, common denominators. So it'll be log base 3 of, let's make a common denominator of 6, so x to the 2 over 6 times x to the, this is an invisible 1, so we can write that as 6 over 6 times x to the 3 over 6 is equal to 11 over 18. Now we can add 2 plus 6 is 8 plus 3 more is 11, so that is log base 3 of x to the 11 over the base stays this, or the denominator stays the same, is 6. Now we've simplified to a single log with a single variable. So now let's switch this back to exponential form to finish solving. So we'll do the base 3 to the power of the opposite side, 11 over 18, is equal to what's inside the log. Okay, now the last thing is to get the exponent off of the x. The way that we can do that, or one way that we can do that, is to raise it to a power of the reciprocal. So that's 6 over 11, and we'll need to do that on both sides. Since when you raise a power to a power, you multiply. If you multiply reciprocals, it goes to 1. So the right-hand side would just go to x to the 1, or just x. And here we again multiply the exponents, so the 11 on top and bottom will cancel out. That leaves us with 6 over 18, which can be reduced to 1 over 3. So that will be 3 to the 1 over 3 is x. We could write that as the final answer, or if we put it into radical form, we can write it as x is equal to the cube root of 3. Okay, well, I hope this homework help problem was helpful for you. If it was, please like and subscribe to my channel to see or to get notified whenever I make a new video. If you have a particular question that you'd like to see me work, feel free to either leave it in the comments or send me an email, which is down in my description, if you have like a picture that you'd like to send instead. Thanks for watching, and happy studies.